So as you can see from our cutting plane line right here, we need to sketch out the section view of this shape, cutting it in half right here in the middle from the top. And hopefully it's pretty obvious how to sketch it. We would just sketch basically the front view of this shape and then this little block on top, just like it is from the side view. You can see this side view matches this this piece and this piece. Or this face is this face, and this face right here is this face. And then this sort of sideways square U is up here on top, and then this block is on top. And we're just going to draw out what it would look like if we cut it in half at this point with the cutting plane line. And hopefully it's pretty obvious. The hollow points won't be sections, and the non-hollow parts will be sections. Okay, or I'll have section lines, I should say. And we can get the exact width and the exact height by drawing construction lines of the width and the height. So let's start with a width. And remember to draw your construction lines incredibly light. The reason why we draw it light so we can differentiate them from our object lines. Okay, so we draw two light construction lines here. And then we'll do the same thing for the height as well. So, okay, we've got the bottom and the top. Drawing a light construction line all the way to the top. And we can get those other little angles too. Okay, so keep going. So, for example, what other ones do we need? Well, I need to know how or where this goes down. Okay. So I can get the outline of this shape, kind of like what the front view would look like. And then we'll add the sections later. And then we need this height as well. And if your lines aren't perfect, that's okay. That's not the idea. The main thing is we need to make sure you can recognize the heights, the widths, and what it would look like if we cut it in half. And the only way to do that is to kind of combine these three pictures. You kind of look back and forth through these three. So this top view will tell you the width, this side view will tell you the height, and this view will tell you kind of what it looks like on the inside if you were to cut it in half. Just kind of seeing what are these hidden lines here cutting all the way through. Well, they're clearly these holes, and are they the same height? Well, yes, these hidden lines tell me they are at the same height. They have to line up, otherwise they would be staggered. Okay, and this hidden line right here is clearly this this hole that we would be able to see from the side view. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and start sketching this bottom corner, which would clearly be at this intersection right here of construction lines. And then this bottom corner right here would clearly be at this intersection, so I can just draw the bottom of our shape. And if you can't tell, if you were to cut this shape in half right in the middle, there's nothing in the back that's different from the front. It's the exact same width, so it wouldn't look any different. The outline wouldn't look any different if I were to cut it in half from the front view. It wouldn't look any different from the front view, I should say. So I convert these construction lines into object lines until I hit this height. And then what does it do? Well, it clearly goes to the left. But right here, we don't draw across this plane right here, because if you were to cut it in half, this would be one big face. Let me show you what I mean after I draw this outline. We'll pull up Autodesk and we'll look at it. If you can't see it, hopefully it's pretty obvious, pretty intuitive, but what happens next? Well, it goes all the way across. It would still show this outline here. And here we would still see this line if we were to cut it out. That would still be an edge, although it would be a little bit different. You'll see how in just a second. But now that we got the outline, I want to explain, well, why would this not have an object line right here? Well, if we look at Autodesk and we hit F7, we cut it out, you can see, well, that's what it would look like. We cut out this place right here. We cut out this plane. These two separate faces from the front view become one face together. Well, that's pretty, hopefully you could see that just by looking at these pictures. And that's kind of the idea, as we are going to get to the point to where you can see that from just looking at these pictures. And so the whole point of these is to see, well, okay, where's the height, where's the width? So this again tells us our width, this tells us our height. We just kind of keep looking back and forth and adding construction lines. So for example, I will draw all of these last lines. So this line right here is a construction line. And I'll continue with all of these individual hidden lines because I need their widths. And so I just go to each line, I line it up with my handy dandy ruler, and I draw a construction line down all the way. Okay, and then I'll do the same thing with these two construction lines that I missed. Okay, so I need these heights. And so what are these hidden lines that I just drew? Well, they're the circular holes here. So at these intersections, I will just draw a circle. And to draw a circle, I'll just darken the centers of my intersecting construction lines, and then I'll just connect each center with a curve, and that'll just draw a general circle. But it's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. I'm not grading you on your ability to draw a perfect circle, but I'll do the exact same thing here. I'll just darken these 4 centers as thin lines, and then I'll just connect them with a curve in the same way. That's pretty easy, pretty simple. And then I just need to recognize, well, this part is hollow, so if I were to cut it in half right here, this would still be a face, so we would see this edge right here all the way down. And how do I know it's exactly there? Not, oh, well, my construction line told me how wide it was. And so the last thing we need to do is just draw our section lines across. And again, if it's hollow, then you leave it blank. If it's not hollow, you draw the section lines all the way across. And try not to, color outside the lines, right? But you just draw your quick section lines. It's not too hard. And again, just make sure you miss the hollow parts and leave those blank. And so again, what should this look like? Well, it should look exactly like this, where the shaded sections are where your section lines go.